Hello everyone, welcome to the channel NTA GRF. In this video, we will be resuming our 2020 September question paper of economics. So let's begin with that. So the first question is saying that we have to find out the number of districts initially selected from the states under the Intensive Area Development Program. Okay. So under the program, how many districts were selected from how many states we have to tell. So these are the options. So let's understand what this intensive area development program is. Okay, in the next slide. So this program was initially incorporated in the third 5-year plan, which was implemented in 1961 to 1966. So this is the third 5-year plan. Okay. And this program was popularly called as the package program, and we will get to know why it's called package program. It is because there was a collective and simultaneous application of all practices of improved seeds, irrigation, fertilizer, plant protection, implements, credit, and many more. So because of these reasons, it was called a package program. And to answer our question, it was started in 1960 July in 7 selected districts in various states. Okay, so it was started in West Godavari of Andhra Pradesh, Shahabad of Bihar, Tanjore in Tamil Nadu, Raipur in Madhya Pradesh, Ludhiana in Punjab, Pali in Rajasthan, and Aligarh in UP. Fine. So these were the districts from where which were selected for this IIDP program. The reason for the selection of these districts were based on the reason that they were having high potentiality for increasing the yield in shorter time. Okay, so the efficiency of the yield was taken into account. Again, these districts were had water supply for irrigation, they had well-developed cooperatives, good physical infrastructure, and minimum hazard. So the answer for this question we'll be seeing in the next slide is we have okay, so the answer for this is 7 districts from 7 states. So it is number 4. So the answer is number 4. Now let's look at a different question. Okay, this question is asking that we have to arrange the following economists. Okay, following economists in chronological order as when they propose their theories. So we have 4 economists: Harrod, Schumpeter, Rostow, and Solow. And we have to tell who has proposed their theory first. Okay, in a chronological order. So there are 4 options, and we will see which of the following will be the correct answer. Okay, so let's first discuss each of this theory briefly. Okay, so the first theory is Harrod's theory, and Roy Harrod proposed this theory in 1939. Okay, and it was a Keynesian theory based on the saving investment analysis, and it is the direct outcome of the projection of short-run Keynesian analysis into long-run. So this was the idea that the short-run was of Keynesian theory was applied in the long run and how it will look. So that was the idea, and it laid emphasis on the developed countries. Okay, so developed countries were taken into account, and secondly, the main idea of the model was the capital was the major resource, and it assumed that the substitution between capital and labor and a neutral technical progress. So that's very important, neutral technical progress. So we will be discussing these theories in some other video more extensively. So let's look at the second theory. It is by Solow. So Solow, Swan, both of them independently developed this theory as an alternative to Harrod-Dommer model of growth. Okay, the idea was that they proposed a steady growth in the long period without any pitfalls. So they were attacking Harrod-Dommer, as Harrod-Dommer had a theory where there was knife edge equilibrium, and Solow says that no, we can have a theory, we can have a steady growth in the economy in the long run without any pitfalls. That was the idea, and the key parameter of Solow's model was the substitutability between capital and labor. So that was the major idea, and it was proposed in 1956. Okay. Now let's look at the next option, that is Rostow. Now Rostow is very popular, his theories are very popular. It is the most well-known example of linear stages of growth model. So there is a linear process. Okay, there's a linear process of growth. So the first is there are 5 steps or 5 stages given by him in his book, which says that a country has to pass this to reach a advanced economy, right? So a developing country has to pass these 5 stages to reach an advanced economy. So these stages are called as: first, the society is traditional; secondly, there should be preconditions for takeoff; third should be takeoff; fourth is drive to maturity; and fifth is age of high mass consumption. Okay, this is the idea of Rostow, and it was proposed in 1960s. Okay, now let's look at the last option, which is Schumpeter. Okay, so Joseph Schumpeter has economic development theory, which was proposed in his book in 1911. Okay, so it was in 1911, very early, and there were 4 important features of Schumpeter theories. The first was circular flow, second was role of entrepreneur, third was cyclical process or business cycle, and the fourth was end of capitalism. So these are the headings, we will be discussing it in some other videos. So these were the main features of Schumpeter's theory. So the main point is it was developed or published in 1911. So we see that Schumpeter was the first chronologically, second was Harrod, third was Solow, and fourth was Rostow. So accordingly we will arrange this as it was asked in the question. So the question is saying that, yes, so the first is Schumpeter, so B is first, Harrod is second, okay, Solow is third, and Rostow is fourth. So the option 1 is correct here. Now let's look at a different question. Okay, this question is asking for very common terminology. Now the question is giving a definition that a graph reflecting the relationship between a country's per capita income and its inequality of income distribution is called. So what is it called? So it is very simple, it is called Lorenz curve. Now let's look at what Lorenz curve is. So in the next slide we will see this. So this is Lorentz curve. Okay, so in here we have cumulative percent of population. In here we have cumulative portion of income. It was developed by Max Lorentz in 1905. Okay, Max Lorentz in 1905. And as I have told you that the percentiles of population is on the horizontal line. So this is horizontal line, and there we have cumulative percentiles of population according to income, and obviously in the horizontal line we will have cumulative income or wealth. Okay, and this line is called line of equality. When we reach this line, there is equal distribution of income, right? Okay, so the answer was Lorentz curve, as it was very obvious. Now let's look at a different question. Okay, the question is, the concept of GST or goods and services tax is originated in which of the country? So the answer is obviously Canada. So it is based on the Canadian value-added tax, and it is levied on most goods and services sold for domestic consumption. And in India, it was implemented in 1st July 2017, and the tax through this GST we subsume many indirect tax. So many indirect tax are clubbed into one in this GST, and the aim is to abolish the multiple indirect taxes system in the country of India. Okay, so this was the reason for that India implemented GST. Now let's look at the last question of this video. So the question says that, what do you mean by green electricity? Okay, so I have already given the answer. The answer is electricity produced from renewable source of energy. So the definition for this is, the electricity should be generated using minimum natural and limited resources like fossil fuels. So we have to use minimum amount of fossil fuels. Minimum amount of fossil fuels. And we have to use uh, sources which are renewable in nature. Okay, so if you are producing the electricity from renewable sources, then obviously it is called green electricity. Okay, the very important question, this, what is the name of world's first green electricity company? So it is called Ecotricity. Okay, it is based in United Kingdom. Okay, so this video is still here only. So we will be discussing other questions in the next videos. Keep watching, and also if you have any question, you can write to us in the comment section, and also you can find us in social media by going through EcoNet GRF. Thank you.